Welcome to Dance Dish, where the dance ends and the dish begins. I'm Helene Phillips, the creator of Dance Dish, and this week's host. So, I'm going to dish you something that we've never done. We are on location in this beautiful home up in the Hollywood Hills, and one of our guests owns this home. So without further ado, I will introduce to you the man, the myth, the legend, my mentor, incredible, Mr. Joe Tremaine right now. Joe Tremaine, yeah. And then right next to him, we have the most talented dancer, choreographer, producer, director, educator, the nicest guy on the planet, and a friend of mine, Mr. Barry Lather. Give it up, yeah. Okay, we are gonna get going, and this one feels a bit personal to me because, Barry, yep. I think it was your first gig.
Yes.
Mine, so-and-so.
You were a veteran.
Yeah, I was the veteran. Thank you for saying that. And Barry's gonna tell us about his experiences with Captain EO, with Michael Jackson.
Oh, yeah, that was my first job in LA. I moved to LA to be on scholarship at Joe's studio and was training, and then I felt like, okay, I think I'm ready to start going to auditions. But I remember this massive audition for Captain EO. It was at Debbie Reynolds. There was like over 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And they were like, if you're number 700 or higher, just leave and come back in 4 hours.
Yeah.
It was just, there was nowhere for anybody to go. It was crazy. But I remember just loving the audition. I loved, the style that was taught, and you and Jeffrey Hornaday were there, and then I remember I was just like, I felt like I had a really good audition. I knew I was the young one in the room. I was 18.
Yeah,
but it just felt really good.
Yeah.
The style was like jazz, but it was like aggressive, and it had like just a little flavor to it. I was like, it resonated with me.
Yeah.
So I remember having a good audition and got the job, and I was like thrilled to death. And I was just a senior in high school a year before. I grew up dancing since I was 5. My mom was a dance teacher, my dad sold dancewear. I was a huge Michael Jackson fan.
Yeah.
Thriller was massive. I was in the street dancing and popping and locking.
Right.
I was, that summer of '84, before I moved out, Purple Rain came out. The movie Breakin' came out with Shabba-Doo and Taco and all. I'm just like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So. Because I was like, New York, LA. I didn't know. Having a scholarship at Tremaine, I was just like, I just feel like LA's the right fit for me,
Yeah.
So, got the gig. I remember rehearsing, and I just couldn't believe it. I was like, I'm doing a job with Michael Jackson. This is insane.
Yeah, I know.
Because I was just watching his video just 6 months ago, in high school. It was fun. I remember in rehearsals, first time I ever heard the word skeleton crew, I'm like, what's skeleton crew? What's that? People worked before I even got there, Basically, I think there was like 40 dancers, but like, it seemed like a special 10 was on the skeleton crew and learned all the choreography and stuff before like the other 20 or 30 came in. I just remember coming and we just started learning. It was no like experimenting time. It's like, no, this is what you're gonna learn, let's go.
Yeah.
And that person teaching all the choreography was Helene. I was just like, oh my God, who's this wild blonde-headed lady who is tough as nails? I mean, you didn't put I could just tell, I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to mess up. But I just remember it was so like intense, and everybody was, so excited because it was Michael's first job, big job in project, and he's always pushing the limit.
Yeah.
It was 3D. George Lucas was involved. Francis Ford Coppola directed. It was like this major project is like the first thing Michael did after all the Thriller success.
Yeah.
So everybody wanted that job.
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
So I learned so much. I remember taking a few pictures, and I have some pictures from that project.
It was like the gig that everybody wanted,
I knew that was special though. I knew like I was, don't take it for granted, and just learn. I just wanted to learn. Let me learn as much as I can from these veteran dancers. Let me watch the choreographer, because I always knew I wanted to choreograph one day.
Yeah.
So it was just like, watch the choreographer. How does he conduct himself or she on stage? I've never been in a filming process.
Yeah.
And I didn't care where I was. I was kind of near the back on the right side, but I'm like, I don't care I'm in the back. I'm like, I'm doing the job. It's like, it doesn't matter where I'm in. I don't have to be front and center, whatever. But one of the biggest takeaways from that job was, by the time you got ready to film, you're exhausted and you're tired because you've been there since 6 a.m. or just now first take at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. We're like, we've been here all day long.
Barry and all the dancers posed as good dancers and
then-
evil dancers.
Yes.
And they had to change, and the change was a 3-hour process every time.
But I'll never forget, and just Michael's impact, because I worked with Michael later on. That, you know, his first job, and blessed to have done that project. But, you know, like, we never saw Michael in rehearsals. It wasn't until
Yeah.
we were in front of camera
Yeah.
and ready to shoot, and then he would quietly come on set, talk with the directors, probably telling them what we're doing. And I remember we're all set. We've already rehearsed without him, and we're just waiting for Michael. And I just remember first time he came on, he was, you know, we're in like a V formation.
Yeah.
He was dead center up front, and I'm just like, you know, I'm a few rows back. I'm like, oh my God, there he is. There's Michael.
Yeah,
But I just remember, you know, and it was like there was no, it was just like, we're go.
yeah.
And I just remember him, he turned around and he was, you know, shy. He just turned around and smiled and nodded to all the dancers, kind of like, and then he turned around and they went action. All of a sudden he was like, wow.
Yeah.
So this shy little smile to this beast in front of a camera, I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What just happened?
No, I
The electricity that flew out of him.
Yeah, I mean, you watch him, and I'm sure you have felt this.
Yeah.
He stands there, and he's
Very meek.
very meek, small
Simple.
framed, and I'm sort of looking at him, going, "This is never gonna happen. This just can't possibly happen." And then action, like you said, an explosion.
He completely transforms
Yeah.
into another person.
Yeah, great to watch, right?
Yeah, that energy was, I was fascinated. I was
Yeah.
like, this is insane.
All right, so should we toast?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Here's to Barry
Hey.
having a dream.
Hey.
Having the smarts to watch other people, to learn, to persevere, to take it all in, because guess what? You've gotten everywhere you want to go. So that's a lesson for everyone to know, right?
Yep.
Hang out and learn.
Yep.
Here's the dance dish.
Great. Dance dish.
Work it, yes. 5, 6, 7, 8.